Hello, I'm Jessie. I will be your moderator for today. Our training will be about food wastage prevention in agri-food businesses. Did you know that 1/3 of the food produced yearly for human consumption goes to waste? In a world where 1 in 9 people goes to bed hungry each night, we cannot afford to simply discard food. Our training will be divided in 8 chapters, going from an introduction on food wastage, impact of food wastage, environmentally, socially, and economically, causes of food wastage, prevention of food waste through source reduction, food wastage valorization, policies that regulates food waste, case studies and best practices globally and in Lebanon, and our waste reduction plan. Food wastage is divided between food loss and food waste. Food loss occurs when we have a decrease in mass or dry matter or nutritional value of food that is originally intended for human consumption. It happens through different parts of the supply chain, during agriculture, during processing, packaging, and storage, and during transportation and distribution. However, food waste is the waste generated by the consumers. It refers to food appropriate for human consumption, but that is being discarded, whether in supermarkets and retails or at home and in restaurants. Food wastage is such a huge problem since globally 1/3 of all the food produced for human consumption goes to waste. This equates to about 1.3 billion tons of food valued at nearly $1 trillion in Lebanon, and according to a study done by St. Joseph University, 82 kilograms per day are wasted out of the average bulk food produced in food businesses. This is equivalent to 30 tons per year per industry. According to a second study done by the American University of Beirut, 1,620 tons of plate food waste are generated in Beirut per year. This is equivalent to 0.15 of Lebanon's total organic waste. Lebanese cuisines serving Mediterranean food were found to generate 34 kilograms of organic waste per day, more than restaurants that serves international non-Lebanese cuisine. To distribute food wastage between industries, fruits and vegetable industry generates 45% of the total food waste. Seafood and aquaculture generate 35%, cereals and milling 30%, dairy industry and meat and poultry industry generate 20%. Food wastage has a triple impact. On the environmental level, food wastage contributes to climate change and global warming through the emission of methane gas, which is 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. On the economic level, the annual global economic loss is estimated to be between 750 billion and $1 trillion. The negative effects affect all stakeholders, from farmers to consumers, facing higher expenses, with farmers often mitigating their loss through raising prices. Socially, food wastage has a direct impact on global hunger since lost food is withdrawn from the global market. According to a study done by the World Food Programme, 19% of the Lebanese population suffer from acute food insecurity. This is equivalent to 1.5 million people in Lebanon suffering from food insecurity. Food wastage is a triple loss. Thus, the importance of knowing the causes of food wastage in order to be able to prevent it through source reduction. One of the main causes of food wastage is the overproduction and the excessive stock, which is due to a misalignment between supply and demand. Inadequate demand forecasting or poor predictions of consumer needs result in misaligned production level and also excessive stock. Poor operational performance and inadequate handling leads to spoilage and damage during processing and transportation. Climate change and weather variability affects the quality and the quantity of food in an unpredictable way. Non-conformance to retail specifications, such as the size, the weight, or the label, leads to a loss of products that could not be distributed. Product quality deterioration due to spoilage, lack of infrastructure and technical skills, which leads to an inefficient storage, uh, processing, and transportation. In Lebanon and on the agri-food industry's level, the main causes of food waste are first, management issues that lead to overproduction due to overstocking from take-back agreements or order cancellation, technical inefficiencies due to poor performance, lack of storage facilities, spoilage, improper accommodation, and wrong temperature and humidity during the storage, industry size and seasonal labor demand, larger industries, and the use of temporary labor during peak times can lead to greater wastage due to complexities and inefficiencies. Production and inventory management, where the volume of food produced correlates with wastage, highlighting the need for precision inventory control and lean manufacturing practices. In restaurants, the type of cuisine and the service affects the quantity of wasted food. Lebanese cuisine and fine dining services are associated with higher wastage due to cultural practices and overordering, in addition to the extensive variety of dishes. This is also related to the menu planning, where an ineffective menu planning leads to overordering by customers, especially in restaurants with long menus offering a wide variety of choices. This is directly related to consumer behavior that tends to over-ordering and to the operational practices that lead to storage inefficiencies, processing inefficiencies, which lead to spoilage before the exact shelf life. Possibilities to prevent food wastage include advanced stock management, such as using FIFO and FIFO systems to manage inventory effectively, having optimal storage conditions to maintain the correct temperature and humidity for different types of food products, using specialized packaging solutions such as vacuuming or modified atmosphere that can help extend the shelf life of food items. Accurate demand forecasting using data analytics and forecasting tools can predict market demand more accurately. Optimized logistics improve the efficiency of food delivery and ensure proper storage conditions during transport, which minimize the risk of food spoilage and loss. Engaging employees in ongoing training on food wastage can help in the management of food waste in an agro-food business. Efficient production planning can also help in preventing food waste by implementing lean manufacturing principles to optimize the production processes, which aims to minimize waste without sacrificing productivity or quality. Documentation of recipes and preparation helps us standardize recipes and cooking processes to ensure consistent quality and quantity, which includes keeping detailed records of ingredient quantities and cooking times. Measuring and documenting the waste help us identify waste hotspot and formulate strategies to address them, which leads us to the implementation of ISO standards and doing regular audits in order to optimize our processes. Many industries work toward food wastage prevention. Heinz, for example, redesigned its sauce packing process by filling machines through immediate holding tanks rather than using lining bags. This reduces sauce wastage while saving also plastic packaging during the manufacturing process. A startup, Liquid Glide, developed a slippery coating that can be coated on the inside of bottles and containers. The coating allows food such as leftover sauces to be emptied easily. One of the oldest ways to prevent food wastage is freezing food. We tend to think that frozen food or frozen vegetables or fruits lose nutritional benefits. However, studies showed that they are just as nutritious as fresh food if they are packed and preserved in the correct way. Farmers have created a way in order to use carrots that aesthetically don't attract customers. They transform them into baby carrots. Many initiatives tend to sell imperfect food that are too good to go at reduced prices. Active packaging is now booming to extend the food shelf life. In addition to intelligent packages that monitors the food quality and ensure no waste of product, it monitors temperature, pH, and so on, and transmit the information to the users. Many initiatives created also new packaging material similar to the plastic used in cling wrap or Ziploc bags from natural ingredients such as grapefruit seed extract or even shells. This gives the product or the package an antimicrobial property and help to extend the shelf life of food product and minimize food wastage. If food loss and waste were a country, it should be the third largest greenhouse gas emitter on the planet. If we could not prevent food wastage by any way, there is ways to valorize it by generating value-added products. According to the YAPA, there is a food recovery pyramid that helps us choose the most preferred way to manage our waste to the least preferred way. The most preferred way is, of course, the source reduction. It is followed by donation or feeding hungry people, transforming waste into food for animals, industrial uses and transformation, and of course, composting, landfilling, and incineration as the least preferred ways to manage food wastage. According to the FDA, we can only donate food that is stored, prepared, packaged, displayed, and labeled in accordance to food safety laws and the food code. There is many initiatives and local agencies that we can partner with in order to donate the excess of food we generated, such as Bonheur du Ciel, the Lebanese Food Bank, les Restaurants du Cœur, Berrad El Hay, and the joint initiative between ACT and SPINS. A second way, in order to valorize our wasted food, is transforming it into animal feed. Animal feed is feed for livestock, meeting safety standards and nutritional requirements. We can go through two pathways in order to transform wasted food into animal feed. The first pathway includes feeding animals directly the waste that is generating during harvesting. However, the second way is transforming the food wasted through industrial techniques in animal feed. We will go now through repurposing of waste generated in different industries. In the fruit juice processing industry, around 50% of the fruit weight is wasted, including peels, seeds, and pulp. It can be transformed in pectin, which is used in jams. It can be transformed into natural sweeteners. Antioxidants can be extracted in addition to essential oils and fibers. In the dairy industry, the main waste generated is whey, which is the liquid left over from cheese production. It can be transformed into whey powder used by athletes, into lactic ferments, and in new cheeses such as ricotta and double crème. In fish industry, waste, which includes head, skin, bones, and other parts of the fish that cannot be used or consumed by human, are transformed into fish oil, protein, collagen, and gelatin. In the meat industry, blood proteins are used as emulsifiers or fat replacers in food products, in addition to the extraction of collagen and gelatin, especially from the bones. In the beet sugar processing industry, beet pulp is used as feedstock for biofuel production. In olive oil industries, aquatic wastage and mark of olive oil generated during the processing are sources of biologically active polyphenols or can be transformed into wood pellets. Another way to valorize food wastage is the bioenergy conversion. It can be done through different techniques. The first way of energy conversion is the anaerobic digestion. It's a biological process that decomposes organic materials in the absence of oxygen and produce biogas. It is done through a digester when we can place first sludge, we can place wastewater biosolid, we can place food waste and other organics such as crops, fats, oil, grease, and others. They are transformed into biogas that is used in electricity, as heat, and as vehicle fuel. The digestate can be transformed into other products, into animal bedding, into organic fertilizers, and into construction material. Two industries that can benefit from the anaerobic digestion are first, the brewery waste, and second, the dairy processing industry. There is farms that are now self-sufficient in energies by using the bioenergy conversions technique on the sludge generated in the farms. The second way of bioenergy conversion is the fermentation process. It is done through a chemical breakdown of substances by microorganisms such as enzymes or yeast, leading to the production of biofuels and value-added products. Two examples using the fermentation process to generate the value-added products are citrus waste conversion into bioactive compounds through enzymatic degradation and the bioethanol production from corn waste such as corn stover, leaves, and cobs, since they are rich in cellulose and fermentable sugars. Usually, industrial use of fat, oil, and grease should not be thrown in landfills or disposed into the sanitary sewer system. They can clog pipes and pumps, both in the public sewer lines and in wastewater treatment facilities. Rendering companies usually collect industrial oil. It is transformed in actually recycled oil through removal of solid particles and dewatering. Recycled oils can be used as biodiesel. It can be used for direct burning. It can also be transformed into soap or used as a binder. For example, binders generated from recycling oils can be used for asphalt in road construction and repairs. The last technique for bioenergy conversion is the thermal treatment. It includes incineration and gasification to convert organic material into energy in the form of heat, gas, or even liquid fuels. This method is suitable for food waste with low moisture content. It is used for coffee grounds, for example. It is used for rice husk, and it is used also for nutshells. Composting is one of the oldest techniques to valorize food wastage. It's a biological decomposition of organic material by microorganisms. Composting generates natural fertilizers that can be used as to increase soil property, to increase plant productivity, and to supply soil with nutrients. The least preferred ways to valorize food wastage are landfilling or burial of waste in the land, which leads to an emission of methane gases and can also lead to leakage into groundwater. Incineration or burning food wastage can also cause air pollution. Moving on to policies and regulations for food waste management. Worldwide, the European Union worked on a waste framework directive to prevent waste and encourage the reuse and recycling of waste. The United States worked through EPA on encouraging organizations to improve their sustainable food management practices and report the results, aiming to reduce food waste in the US. Internationally, UNEP worked on the Think, Eat, Save, an initiative in partnership with the Food and Agriculture Organization, aiming at reducing food waste and loss by sharing best practices and encouraging collective action among consumer, food industry, and the government. FAO have also worked on safe food initiatives that focuses on global efforts to reduce food loss and waste through partnerships with international organizations, the private sector, and civil society. One of the Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015 as part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is the SDG 12.3, aiming to have global food waste per capita by 2030. Other SDGs are also related to prevention of food wastage, such as no poverty, zero hunger, industrial innovations, reducing inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, and life on land. SDGs are not obligatory. However, compliance with these treaties is legally binding for the signatory countries whenever they sign on international treaties such as Paris Agreement on Climate Change and the Convention on Biological Diversity. In Lebanon, on September 24, 2018, the Lebanese parliament passed the Integrated Solid Waste Management. It concerns the management of non-hazardous and hazardous waste. However, it does not address aspects of the solid waste sector such as waste generation, segregation, transfer, sorting, recovery, treatment, and disposal in an integrated manner. Luckily, the government worked on a final draft national integrated solid waste management strategy that will address the waste management in Lebanon. Other decrees addressed also the waste management and sorting at source. A memo also helped municipalities on food waste collection. Initiatives were taken globally and in Lebanon in order to prevent food wastage. The European Commission worked on a strategy called the Fusions Initiative by creating a platform that encourages dialogue between government and various stakeholders for discussion, collaboration, and exchange of ideas and best practices in order to develop policies and targeted intervention. This platform helped also clarifying legislation related to food wastage and providing measuring techniques to understand the scale of the problem. It worked also on improving best before labeling with industrialists. In Lebanon, many initiatives emerged lately concerning recycling. Live Love Recycle, for example, can collect your waste through e-bites. Recycle, Refuse, Cedar Environmental, Terre Liban, and Arc-en-Ciel are also initiatives designated for recycling. Lebanon Waste Management is an initiative that can collect your waste through drive-through. Waste management support is also provided by Nadira, Dawr, and Circle. Electronic waste is treated by EcoServe and Verdetech, and composting is done by Compost Baladi, by Cedar Environmental also, and Duda, which is an initiative led by women that raises earthworms and use them to produce solid and liquid vermicompost that can be used as an organic fertilizer instead of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. At Qpulse Consulting, we can help you prevent food wastage through training, shelf life determination and improvement, labeling consultancies, and we can help you also showcase your efforts through international certification such as ISO standards and EcoVadis that focuses on environmental sustainability in one of its four pillars. According to WFP, all the food produced but never eaten would be sufficient to feed 2 billion people. This leads us to a conclusion that the reduction of food wastage should be a joint effort. Pupils Consulting worked on an approach for waste reduction that includes all the elements of the supply chain, starting from the planning by conducting waste audits, assessing the cost of food waste and taking action to reduce it, moving to the storage where we help you inspect incoming goods, label them, control storage condition, and adopt FIFO and FIFO. Creating sales procedure and inventory procedures are also including in this step. In the third step, which is the food processing, we can help you identify elements for reworking or recycling in the process. We can help you implement HACCP and ISO standards, and we can help you document the workflow, work on shelf life extension, and optimize your process. In the packaging part, protecting products in the supply chain is essential. Working on safeguarding product quality, updating the packaging, labeling correctly, and providing storage conditions is essential to reduce food waste. For the distribution part, we can help you adopt cold chains. We can help you also adopt high standards of hygiene, work on distribution control, shadowing of driver, and good storage practices trainings. All those elements are directly related to consumer awareness to reduce food wastage through trainings. Since waste reduction is a joint effort, food manufacturers should work together with the government, consultancy firms, suppliers and retailers, food distribution organization, food waste recycling companies, and food waste treatment system in order to reduce their carbon footprint.